Clients' rights. The American Hospital Association developed a Patient's Bill of Rights in 1972, revised in 2003 as the Patient Care Partnership. The Bill of Rights includes the rights and responsibilities of the patient while receiving care in the hospital, which range from the right to considerate and respectful care, to the right to be informed of hospital policies and practices that relate to patient care, treatment, and responsibilities. With care moving increasingly from the hospital to the community, nurses must be familiar with how different institutions and professional groups define patient rights and responsibilities. Other bills of rights include Pregnant Patients' Bill of Rights, Indian Patients' Bill of Rights, Nursing Home Bill of Rights, and Veterans Administration Code of Patient Concern. Each emphasizes a specific aspect of patient rights within a particular health agency and implies a code of ethics the nurse observes professionally. The Client's Rights document, also called the Patient's Bill of Rights, reflects acknowledgement of a client's right to participate in her or his health care with an emphasis on client autonomy. The document provides a list of the rights of the client and responsibilities that the hospital cannot violate. Patient's rights when hospitalized. Right to considerate and respectful care. Right to be informed about diagnosis, possible treatments, likely outcome, and to discuss this information with the physician. Right to know the names and roles of the persons who are involved in care. Right to consent or refuse a treatment. Right to have an advance directive. Right to privacy. Right to expect that medical records are confidential. Right to review the medical record and to have information explained. Right to expect that the hospital will provide necessary health services. Right to know if the hospital has relationships with outside parties that may influence treatment or care. Right to consent or refuse to take part in research. Right to be told of realistic care alternatives when hospital care is no longer appropriate. Right to know about hospital rules that affect treatment, and about charges and payment methods. The client's rights protect the client's ability to determine the level and type of care received. All healthcare agencies are required to have a Client's Bill of Rights posted in a visible area. Several laws and standards pertain to clients' rights. Laws and standards. American Hospital Association. Issued Patient's Bill of Rights. American Nurses Association. Developed the Code for Nurses, which defines the nurse's responsibility for upholding the client's rights. Mental Health Systems Act. Developed rights for mentally ill clients. The Joint Commission. Developed policy statements on the rights of mentally ill individuals. Rights for the mentally ill. The Mental Health Systems Act created rights for mentally ill people. The Joint Commission has developed policy statements on the rights of mentally ill people. Psychiatric facilities are required to have a Client's Bill of Rights posted in a visible area. Rights for the mentally ill. Right to be treated with dignity and respect. Right to communicate with persons outside the hospital. Right to keep clothing and personal effects with them. Right to religious freedom. Right to be employed. Right to manage property. Right to execute wills. Right to enter into contractual agreements. Right to make purchases. Right to education. Right to habeas corpus, written request for release from the hospital. Right to an independent psychiatric examination. Right to civil service status, including the right to vote. Right to retain licenses, privileges, or permits. Right to sue or be sued. Right to marry or divorce. Right to treatment in the least restrictive setting. Right not to be subject to unnecessary restraints. Right to privacy and confidentiality. Right to informed consent. Right to treatment and to refuse treatment. Right to refuse participation in experimental treatments or research. Organ donation and transplantation. A client has the right to decide to become an organ donor and a right to refuse organ transplantation as a treatment option. An individual who is at least 18 years old may indicate a wish to become a donor on his or her driver's license, state-specific, or in an advance directive. The Uniform Anatomical Gift Act provides a list of individuals who can provide informed consent for the donation of a deceased individual's organs. The United Network for Organ Sharing sets the criteria for organ donations. Some organs, such as the heart, lungs, and liver, can be obtained only from a person who is on mechanical ventilation and has suffered brain death, whereas other organs or tissues can be removed several hours after death. A donor must be free of infectious disease and cancer. Requests to the deceased's family for organ donation usually are done by the physician or nurse specially trained for making such requests. Donation of organs does not delay funeral arrangements. No obvious evidence that the organs were removed from the body shows when the body is dressed, and the family incurs no cost for removal of the organs donated. Religious beliefs, organ donation, and transplantation. Catholic Church, organ donation, and transplants are acceptable. Orthodox Church discourages organ donation. Islam, Muslim, beliefs, body parts may not be removed or donated for transplantation. Jehovah's Witness, an organ transplant may be accepted, but the organ must be cleansed with a non-blood solution before transplantation. Orthodox Judaism, all body parts removed during autopsy must be buried with the body because it is believed that the entire body must be returned to the earth. Organ donation may not be considered by family members. Organ transplantation may be allowed with the rabbi's approval.